أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه الأخيار أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We continue with our readings on دروس البلاغة. Jamil. We are done with the الباب الأول, which is the الخبر والإنشاء. That has been made clear to us. So now we know the types of sentences, the two types of kalam, which is, now we are not talking about al-jumla ismiya and al-jumla fi'liya. Now we are talking about al-kalam or al-jumla al-insha'iyya and al-jumla al-khabariya. We've known that and clearly seen the types and all those pieces. Now the chapter 2, al-bab al-thani, we are going to be looking at الذكر والحذف. الذكر والحذف. What is dhikr? Dhikr is mentioning. No terminologies, plenty terminologies. Dhikr, mentioning. From ذكر يذكر. الحذف from حذف يحذف بمعنى omitting. Okay, omitting, يعني not mentioning. So dhikr, mentioning, حذف, not mentioning. Now, الكلام في العربية is considered to be لفظ. It's considered to be لفظ, as we did in the beginner now. As I'm saying, Balāgha requires one to have some basic now. So if you were with us in the Nahu, you know that الكلام هو اللفظ المركب المفيد بالوضع. So kalam is supposed to be word of mouth, not written stuff. Now we write them by way of aiding us to learn. So when you see something written, consider it as being said. So al-maktub, if something is not there, then the thing is غير مذكور, يعني غير ملفوظ, not mentioned. If something is there, then the thing is malfuz or madhkur. Jamil. So that is الذكر والحذف. That is going to be our next topic. I think it's going to be taken at a go. So under علم المعاني as well, we have the الذكر والحذف. Says إذا أريد إفادة السامع حكما فأي لفظ يدل على معنى فيه فالأصل ذكره. Pay attention to this thing. Balāgha is quite interesting. Yani, I don't know how you feel with text, but then as one of these shuyukh, I've forgotten his name, he was teaching literature and he says something like, is it ana anfa'il bil adab or something like that, that when he is reading literature, he reacts, yani he feels it in him. Jamil, I don't know how you react with text, but I like to focus on text so that you get the most of it. Mostly that is unfortunate how we treat the Quran. Extremely unfortunate. Most of the reason why we do this is also because of that. To call people attention to how unjust we ourselves as Muslims we are to the Quran. A lot of things we don't pay attention, we don't care. You find that all the energy is in about who recites best, like Minshawi, who can copy Minshawi, who can copy Al-Husari, who can copy. Fine, that is good. The Sawt, Tajmeel, Sawt and all that is good, but then it is a Risala. Understanding the Risala is utmost, is paramount. Jamil. Now pay attention here. It says, if you are going to speak, إذا أريد الإفادة السامع حكما, if you want the listener to understand something, حكما here, take it as a meaning. We want to convey a meaning to the listener, the second person. What do? It says فأي لفظ يدل على معنى فيه, any lafz, any word that points to a meaning in this hukum that we want to convey to the second person. Yani, I want to convey to you, the listener, you the one listening to me. I want to tell you that I saw Muhammad outside playing. This is the meaning in my mind I want to convey to you. Good. Now, this meaning I want to convey to you, what are the alfaz I need? I saw Muhammad playing outside. I need all these loves. I need these alfaz because every one of these loves يدل على معنى في هذا الحكم الذي أنا أريد إفادة السامع به. So since all these words they will help me to convey the meaning, فالأصل ذكره, the fundamental rule is that mention in all of these alfaz, mention them. Since they point to a meaning in the hukum I want to convey to the listener, then al-aslu al-dhikr, I have to mention it. That is one phase of it. Look at this. وَأَيُّ لَفْظٍ عُلِمَ مِنَ الْكَلَامِ لِدَلَالَةِ بَاقِيهِ عَلَيْهِ فَالْأَصْلُ حَذْفُهُ. That is the second ruling. I want to convey this hukum, but some of the wordings that I need to convey this hukum, some of the wordings, they are known because the remaining words, they already point to it. So let's look at something like this. Just not what we are going to do, but look at an example like this. You know, somebody, beginners, they will say, Ana aktubu dars. Ana aktubu dars, to mean I am writing the lesson. Doesn't the aktubu already has the ana in it? Yes, it does. Aktubu, the moment you see aktubu, you know that it is ketaba, that the tasrif has been done to ana. So basically, you do not need the ana again because the what is the reason? Lidalalatil al-lafz aktubu alayh, because the word aktubu already points to it. So any word like ana, that's the remaining words, the remaining alphas, they already point to this word. Then al-aslu, the fundamental ruling is that hazfuhu, don't mention it, because Arabic is chasing simplicity. That is why we have the Quran small like that. If the Quran is going to be opened up, it will be so wide because there are a lot of taqdeer, mahzuf, plenty. But Arabic language has that scale of hazf, al-dhikr, hazf, taqdeer. It makes you put a lot of meaning in a few texts. So we have these two things. If I want to convey a meaning, every word that points to a part of that meaning I want to convey, I will mention all those words. But any word among these words that the remaining words already point to, I don't really need. The ruling is that don't mention it because it's not needed. It will make the statement verbose. جميل. وإذا تعارض هذان الأصلان فلا يعدل عن مقتضى أحدهما إلى مقتضى الآخر إلا لداعٍ. Now when there is a clash, okay, there is a clash. Do you, in the place where you need to do hazf, do you do zikr just like that? Yani yu'dalu bimana, do you move from the requirement of ahadihima, muqtada ahadihima, the requirement of one of them, yani al-dhikr or hazf, to the other? Because the requirement of al-dhikr is for you to mention the word. The requirement of al-hazf is for you to not mention the word. So is it that when you get to, you are speaking, do you just choose to move to just dhikr or hazf anyhow? You don't do that illa lida'in, except for a cause. So everybody is seeing that, no, this place, why does he say ana aktubu? Even though aktubu points to ana, why did he mention ana? There are reasons that will call for me to mention ana, even though the asl here is hazfu ana. There are certain reasons that will make where I'm supposed to do dhikr, then I will do hazf. There are reasons like that. Like innal insana khuliqa da'ifa. Khuliqa. Man al khaliq? It doesn't say inna al insana khalaqahu Allahu da'ifa. It doesn't say it like that. So the fa'il here is mahzuf. But there is a reason. Whenever there is a mahzuf, there is a da'in, there is a cause. Let's look at the reasons. It says, فَمِن دَوَاعِ الذِّكْرِ, part of the reasons of dhikr, when there is supposed to be hazf, is زِيَادَةُ التَّقْرِيرِ وَالْإِيضَاحِ, adding affirmation to the statement والإيضاح and clarity. How? The example chosen here is so perfect. I don't know if there was any other better example than this. It says, أولئك على هدى من ربهم. Those are the ones that are on the guidance from their Lord. And then it says, وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. And those are the successful ones. For God's sake, look at this. If even it wasn't mentioned, وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ, don't we know that those that are عَلَى هُدًى مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ are the successful ones? It is known. When it says أُولَٰئِكَ عَلَى هُدًى مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ, automatically we know that those are the ones on the guidance of their Lord, and they are the successful ones. But why does it mention again, and those are the successful ones? Why does it mention it again? It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mention it again for clarity, to clarify for you that these particular ones, those are the ones who are successful. Don't mistake successful people in the world as those who are this, who are that, and all these other. La. It says ulaike, whom damirul fasl. Don't forget, we putting all the pieces together. We talked about damirul fasl earlier, that it has emphasis. So look at it. So here the dhikr fi mawdu' al-hazf, and also the istikhdam damir al-fasl, it's so much emphasis here to show you that if you find somebody that is rightly guided, whether the person is poor to death, the person is wallowing in abject penury, the person is part of the successful ones. Allah has affirmed that. So the first reason that will make you do dhikr in place of hazf is ziyadatu taqrir wal idah, additionally emphasizing or additionally endorsing and clarifying. The second point is at-tasjilu al-sami', yani recording the statement on the sami'. Yani this is too literal, it's not understood. You are standing in front of me, then I say you went to madrasa. If this you went to madrasa is written on a paper, you went to madrasa, how will somebody know that the one standing before me is Muhammad, is Aziz, is whatever? So to avoid this doubt, even though in this position I'm not supposed to mention you Muhammad went to madrasa, it's not necessary. I just say you went to madrasa because you are the mukhatab. Anta zahabta ila al-madrasa khalas, or zahabta ila al-madrasa. But when I want to clarify, when I want to actually endorse for Muhammad that it is you that did it, it is you that went to madrasa, then I have to say anta Muhammadun zahabta ila al-madrasa. So even though this is mawdu' al-hazf, is the place where you do hazf, you don't need this anta, you don't need the name Muhammad and all that. But no, you want to do tasjil al-sami', you want to record it on the listener. Why? Hatta la yata'atta lahu al-inkar, so that it doesn't occur to him that he can refute. So look at the way the contract are stated. It says I, Muhammad Ridwan, translator at this so and so, do hereby affirm that. Why do I say I, Ridwan Muhammad? No, it's just I and go away. No, this is to show clearly that one day it can be picked and say, Ridwan, you did this. You cannot deny. Jamil. So that is at-tajil al-sami hatta la yata'atta lahu al-inkar. Kama idha qala al-hakim li shahid, like the hakim, the judge or the governor will say to a witness. So the judge will tell a witness, هل أقر زيد هذا بأن عليه كذا? Has Zaid affirmed or agreed that this maybe is upon him? Let's say he bought a car and you say, does this Zaid affirm that he must pay $1,000? Why does the judge have to say هل أقر زيد هذا? The case that is being run already, we know that it is between Zaid and maybe Amr. Why doesn't the judge say هل أقر زيد بأن عليه كذا? Says فيقول الشاهد, the shahid, the witness will say نعم زيد هذا أقر بأن عليه كذا. That is the language in court, and that is part of the science of Balāgha. Why does he say all that? So you look at it, he says هل أقر زيد هذا, even though the هذا here is not really needed. You can say هل أقر زيد, but then he's saying هذا so that it doesn't mistaken it to be another Zaid. He's saying this Zaid in front of me. So this is what تسجيل على السامع, to let Zaid know that it is you that we are referring to, not any other Zaid, so that one day you don't come and say no, I didn't, it wasn't told to me like that. Nobody said that to me in the court. No, it was said to you, and it was showed that it is you. You were appointed. باسم إشارة هذا. Jamil. And then we come here. Kindly please read this thing. Very important. Don't leave the shara, as I've always said. I don't get tired repeating advice. Even at madrasa, it's like that. I keep on repeating advice like that. Don't forget to read the shara, because students nowadays, Allahu alam, Allahu musta'an. ومن دواعي الحذف. Now what we saw was دواعي الذكر في موضع الحذف. Now we are going to look at من دواعي الحذف في موضع الذكر, where you are supposed to mention but then you do حذف. What are the causes or the reasons? إخفاء الأمر عن غير المخاطب. Let's say I'm speaking with somebody. I'm speaking with you. And we know we are speaking about, let's say, Redwan. And we just saw Redwan coming. So I tell you, he's coming. I don't tell you that Redwan is coming. Rather, I say he is coming. Or I say he has tripped, he has fallen. I don't mention the name, even though in our statement, we haven't really mentioned the name such that I would do istighna. I wouldn't bother to mention again. Now I have to mention to you that, oh, Redwan has fallen or Redwan is coming. But I will just say he is coming, because the mukhatab, the one I'm speaking with, is aware who I'm talking about. But I don't want anybody else to know I'm talking about Redwan, that he's coming. So what do? I say something like Akbala. He has approached. He has approached. Khalas. I don't need any long story. Turidu, in that case you mean Turidu Aliyan, yani you intend that Ali Akbala Aliyan. You intend to say that Ali has approached. Afwan. Let me pause and take care of something. Quick. Afwan. Let's just continue. So, sorry. A second. I have to check something real quick. Sorry, I'll just be with you in a second. Aywa. So when I say Aqbala, I mean to tell you Aqbala Aliyun. But what do? I just say Aqbala. So I don't do dhikr of the fa'il, even though there is a fa'il. I don't mention it. The sabab here is that I want to hide it from any other person apart from the mukhatab. Jamil. The second one is diqul maqam. Diqul maqam is what? Yani, the situation is narrow, and there are reasons that makes the situation narrow. It says imma li tawajju'. A tawajju' is when you are in pain. So I'm in pain and you come to me and you are like, how do I maybe register an account or something like that? You realize that I'll do a lot of hazf due to the fact that I'm in pain, because the maqam is dayyik. I don't have the energy to do tawsi'. So I'll do a lot of hazf. Jamil. So he gives us a perfect example. He says, qala li, a bait. This is a poem, line of a poem. قال لي كيف أنت قلت عليل سهر دائم وحزن طويل. He said to me, كيف أنت, how are you? قلت, I said, عليل, sick. سهر دائم, continuous night vigil. وحزن طويل, and lengthy or a long sadness. What has he omitted? If you read the verse here, you will see all those bayan. It has been explained. So you see the numbers here. When you get here, you want to know what the hazf is. You look at number 2, you go there, you tell you. But then, what is mahzuf here? It says, قال لي كيف أنت? He said to me, how are you? قلت, I said. What would I say? أنا عليل. أنا عليل. I am sick. But if you just say alilun, sick, who is sick? What is sick? So the mubtada here is mahzuf. It would have been ana alilu, because he asks kaifa anta. He says ana alilu, like the way we say ana bi khair. Says alilu. Saharun da'imun, yani hali, my condition is a continuous night vigil. I'm not able to sleep. Sahar bimana, I'm always awake. Wa huzunun tawilun, and a continuous or a lengthy sadness. So the mubtada of alilu is mahzuf, and the mubtada of saharun da'imun is also mahzuf. Even though it's supposed to be mentioned, but then diq al-maqam, the person is in pain, he's sick. So he just mentions it like that. B, the second reason that will cause diq al-maqam is khawfi fawati fursa. You have a very small opportunity to put something across, and you go being verbose. No. Due to the shortness, you are scared that the opportunity might pass away. Khawfu fawatil fursa. You are scared that the opportunity might pass away. And so you do some hazf, you take a lot of things out. Nahu qawl sayyad, like the way the hunter will say, Ghazalun. So let's say we are hunting, we are 3 of us, and I see a gazelle, or I see any animal that we are supposed to shoot at. Do I start saying, ha huna gazalun yamshi, or ha huna gazalun yajri huna kaza unzur ila, la, or just say a gazelle. That's a gazelle. I've done a lot of hazf, because if I now come to say, oh, this is a gazelle running under the before I finish the sentence, the gazelle is gone. So you see the hunter, you'll be like, a snake. A snake means there is a snake here, but if you start using the mubtada and all those parts of the sentence, the fursa might pass away. So you just go straight to the point. Now the A and B, Hamza and Ba, they all fall under the 2 diq al-maqam. So the first one is the ikhfa al-amri and ghayr al-mukhatab, and then we have the diq al-maqam. And then we come to the at-ta'mimu bi-ikhtisar, yani making the thing cover everybody. Sometimes when you are specific, you limit it. So when you are like, you see 5 brothers, then you are like, Redwan, eat the food. You know, you've specified the one to eat. It doesn't cover all the others. But when I do hazf of the fa'il, and I'm like, eat the food. Now you see that it covers all of them. Any one of them can eat. That's what we call ta'meen. Yani making it cover everybody, encompass everybody. Bikhtisar, by doing ikhtisar. It says, Wallahu yad'u ila daris salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls to the abode of peace. That is Jannah. Allah calls to daris salam. Who does Allah call? It is not mentioned. The fact that it is not mentioned makes it cover everybody. Allah is calling everybody to Dar es Salam. What if Allah has said, Wallahu yad'ul muslimina ila Dar es Salam, Wallahu yad'ul bashar ila Dar. If it is mentioned, then it will be that particular group of people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling to Dar es Salam. Now, this particular one, so he says here, I jami'a ibadihi, I Allahu yad'u jami'a ibadihi. Because it wasn't mentioned, it became general. لأن حذف المعمول, because when you do hazf of ma'mul, you remember this ma'mul, amil and ma'mul, they are now two terms, and by now we all know. If you take out the ma'mul, yudhinu bil umum. حذف المعمول يؤذن بالعموم. This is a qaida. When you take out the ma'mul, it gives us the meaning of umum, generality. Now with this one, I'll just leave with this with you. I wouldn't want our discussion to be lengthy. Call your attention back to why we say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, why we use the phrase and we take, I think we've spoken about it, and why we take away the main parts of the sentence. Because just speedily, if we make it ibtida'i ka'inun Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, I've limited it to jumla ismiya. If I say abtadi'u al-kalami Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, I've limited it to jumla fi'liya. But imagine that we say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I didn't mention. It means that jumla fi'liya, ismiya are both covered there. But the moment I mention it would have been restricted. Jamil. It says that the fourth one, تنزيل المتعدي منزلة اللازم لعدم تعلق الغرض بالمعمول. Sometimes the ma'mul, yani the object, it is not the focus. Now, when the object, let's say maf'ulun bihi, is not the focus of my kalam, I have a fi'l that is muta'addin. It requires a maf'ulun bihi, right? As we said, fi'lul lazim is the verb that suffices with fa'il. Al-fi'lul muta'addi is the one that requires a maf'ul bihi. So when I say a fi'l like darab al-ustadhu, I need to bring tilmizahu. I need to bring the maf'ul bihi. But with this signs of hazf, we use it to do tanzilul muta'addi manzilat al-lazim. We used to bring a fi'l that is muta'addi to the position of a lazim by deleting the ma'mul. We take off the ma'mul, we do hazf of the ma'mul because the gharad, the purpose of the talk or the purpose of the kalam does not have any alaka with the ma'mul, the object. Nahu. هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون? The fi'l alima, is it lazim or muta'addin? It is of course muta'addin. Alima. So you say alima ridwanu an nahwa. Ridwan has known nahu. Alima Muhammadun al falsafa. So alima requires is fa'il and maf'ul bihi. But look at this scenario where we bring ya'lamun. Fi'l fa'il. Of course the waw al-jama'a here is the fa'il and the noon is the alamatul raf. So هل يستوين الذين يعلمون يعلمون ماذا؟ والذين لا يعلمون لا يعلمون ماذا؟ So you can see that the fi'l alima, which is muta'addin, that requires a maf'ulun bihi to have been mentioned here. We've used the hazf to bring it to the position of lazim. So هل يستوي الذين يعلمون العلم والذين لا يعلمون العلم. But we've done hazf to bring the fi'l muta'addin to the position of lazim, because here the gharad of this statement is not attached to this, because the focus is ya'lamun and la ya'lamun. In everything at all, if I know something and you don't know it, we are not equal. I'm above you. Jamil. Says وَيُعَدُّ مِنَ الْحَذْفِ إِسْنَادُ الْفِعْلِ إِلَى نَائِبِ الْفَاعِلِ. Part of the hazf, linking the fi'l to the na'ib al-fa'il instead of the fa'il. In that case, you've done hazf of the fa'il, right? فَيُقَالُ هُذِفَ الْفَاعِلُ لِلْخَوْفِ مِنْهُ أَوْ عَلَيْهِ أَوْ لِلْعِلْمِ بِهِ أَوْ الْجَهْلِ. So what do? I have something like ضَرَبَ الْأُسْتَاذُ التِّلْمِيذَ. In this sense of hazf, في موضع الذكر, I'll take out the fa'il, which is أستاذ, and then I'll say ضُرِبَ التِّلْمِيذُ. ضُرِبَ التِّلْمِيذُ. So I've now related the fi'l to the maf'ul bihi, which is the na'ib al-fa'il now. And why do we do that? We do that لِلْخَوْفِ مِنْهُ, because sometimes you are scared of the fa'il. If you mention it and he hears you, if you say Ustaz has beaten the student and Ustaz hears you, he will beat you, so you are scared. So we do the hazf of fa'il. We do the hazf of fa'il again for fear upon the fa'il, أي للخوف على الفاعل. So you want to say something like سرق زيدا سرق زيد المال. But you know that if you say سرق زيد, people will know it is Zaid and you are scared for Zaid. People will beat him, maybe kill him. So you say سرق المال. So here you did the hazf of fa'il. What is the purpose? للخوف على الفاعل. جميل. أو للعلم به, or maybe the fa'il is generally known. Like the way we say خلق الإنسان ضعيفا, as the verse comes. Everybody knows that Allah is the Khaliq. So معلوم, this is known. So I'll just do خلق الإنسان ضعيفا. I'll just do hazf of the fa'il because معلوم, it is known. أو الجهل, or it is not known. Like in the case of سرق المال, as example given here, سرق المتاع, the goods have been stolen. It could be that I don't know the one who stole it. It could be that I'm scared if I mention the one who stole it, they will beat him. It could be that if I mention the one who stole it, he will harm me, so I'm scared. So it could be الخوف من الفاعل, الخوف على الفاعل, أو العلم بالفاعل, يعني جميع يعلم من هو الفاعل, أو جميع أو أنا أجهل من هو الفاعل. This could be all reasons of why the file could also face hazf. Jamil. This brings us to the end of this particular one. In our next lesson, we are going to another chapter, Al-Babu Salis, At-Taqdim wa Ta'khir. In the introduction, I remember mentioning all of these things. I'm sure now you would be seeing how clearly they come into operation. Anything that is not understood, particularly with the Balāgha, with the stories and all that, fine. But with the Balāgha, if you don't understand anything, kindly call my attention. Let me clarify. Jamil. Till we meet again on our next topic, Al-Babu Thalis, At-Taqdim wa Ta'khir. Don't forget to revise. Make sure everything you in the book is here. ليس العلم في البيت وأنت في المزرعة. لا, العلم يكون معك إذا كنت في المزرعة, العلم في المزرعة. إذا كنت في البيت, العلم في البيت. The knowledge, somebody you ask them, I have this thing in the book, but it's home. No, that is not knowledge. That is not knowledge. Knowledge should be with you if you are outside, if you are home. Like the way I'm walking outside, if I'm walking outside, somebody can meet me. Mr. Red, I was even looking for you. I have a question. Why do we do hazf when we are supposed to do dhikr? Now you tell the person, that is in Dروس البلاغة, but my Dروس البلاغة is home. That is not knowledge. So let's do well to make sure we've captured everything here. Jamil. With that said, have a very good Arabic time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.